We are going to be talking about the great debate. Should you accept private pay clients or Medicaid clients? Should you really be a Medicaid provider or private pay, right? So those are the kind of things that we're going to be talking about. So let's get into it. Wait, but first, we have new members here in the group. So all new members, hey, welcome to the community. We are a community of current and aspiring providers who have licensed assisted living, group home, community home businesses. Some of us, are aspiring to be licensed. You're still a provider, but you may be in an unlicensed setting. So in this group, we talk about all things license. I do talk about a few unlicensed services, but in the startup provider program, and we kind of go over those and what those look like. And you're kind of licensed, kind of, sort of. So that's what we talk about here in this group. So if you're new, welcome to the crew. Welcome to the club. This is a dope ass community. Make sure you are asking questions in the group if you have them. All right. I'm excited about this discussion, but it's a debate. And it's a debate because oftentimes I hear people say, private pay is better, or Medicaid is better, or I don't take this because of that, or the quality of clients on Medicaid is this and they can't pay that. And really, none of that shit matters. It just doesn't. In my opinion, none of that shit matters. You know why? What do I always say? I always say, as I said before, you run your business. You create the business that you want and the business that feels good to you. Let's dive in on that a little bit. If you want to serve private pay clients, by all means, if you've done the market research, and the market research has shown you that serving private pay clients is going to be best for you and what you envision for your company, then do it, right? If you've done your market research and, it really came down to serving a Medicaid client or being a Medicaid provider, mind you, then do it, right? Every market is going to be different. And it's the market research that's really going to help you make that decision. So that's really what it comes down to. So to be able to find that answer and to really get clear on that answer, there's a couple things that we need to do and figure out, okay? We need to figure out who we want to serve, first off. Are y'all taking notes? Take notes. Okay, yes, that's exactly right. Do what makes you feel good. It's about your business. Be smart about it. But, it comes down to really knowing who you want to serve, right? Who is it that you truly want to serve? Some ladies that come into the program and they've come in and we're talking about designing their experience, right? We're talking about what do they want? Because I'm all about what you want. And at first they come in and they're like, I want to work with this specific person. I want to provide this specific service, right? And as they go through the program, by the time they get to module 3 and they're doing the actual research, you're like, hold up. No. I want to change who I want to work with. I want to change who and how I want to show up and serve them. So you want to know who you want to serve. Then you want to know the type of service that you're going to provide. Why do you need to know those two things? Because the rates are going to be different. Serving somebody, let's use a service, for example, okay? Let's use adult daycare. Adult day services, like where you are. Let me be very specific on what I'm talking about, because we're talking about a center, right? We're talking about a center. We're talking about like an adult daycare where the loved one would drop their loved one off and they would stay a couple hours. Okay, that's what the example is going to be. For this type of situation, you're probably working with the age population. Okay, I'm setting the stage. Now, When I say it depends on the type of service, this type of service, we're not looking at a daily rate. We're looking at an hourly rate. It might even be broken down into a unit or something like that. We're not going to go there. We're going to talk about an hourly rate, and we're going to say it's $42 an hour. Okay? They're there 4 hours. Okay? So if they're there 4 hours, that's about $168. The reason why you want to know what your rate is in that area, because even if you are private pay, you still have to market that, right? That means they're going to write you a check and they're going to pay you for your service. Or they're going to slide you slide a credit card, whatever funds, the way the funds can flow, that's how they're going to pay, okay? And so you're going to have to market that at the rate in which your community will pay, right? Say the median rate was $42 an hour. We're going to stick with that. Then say you go and look at your Medicaid rate for that same service. And let's say it was, so we said 168. Somebody take note of that, 168. So say your Medicaid rate was $24 an hour. So that's $96 for the 4 hours. Okay, y'all following with me? There's a difference in that. There's a difference of $72, right? Versus the Medicaid versus the private pay. So you're going to take a loss, right, if you're serving a Medicaid client in that capacity. So essentially, you're going to need more clients to break even with your private pay in that example. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Now, we're going to take the same example and we are going to make the Medicaid rate just as much, so 42 an hour, or we can make it up 48 an hour. But for this example, let's make it 42. So now we're at the same playing field, right? Whether it's a Medicaid client or it's a private pay client. And then it doesn't matter. Now it comes down to what's the easiest flow of clients coming into your service, right? Because the rates, now the money's not an issue as far as what it costs, okay? Because you can market to private pay and you can market to Medicaid, okay? You feel that? Now let's talk about, since now we're on a same playing field, let's talk about with billing Medicaid versus private pay. How does that work? One, with Medicaid, you have to be an enrolled provider. So there's more hoops you got to jump through. Is it worth it? In my opinion, absolutely. But that depends on your market research. For me, it's worth it. You might do your market research and it's not worth it for you. You might say, Ariana, I want to provide this service, but I want to do private pay because based off my research, my rates are just better private pay. That's great. But if you want to serve clients and you want to be a Medicaid provider, then you just go through and you do what you're supposed to do, right? Based off of your market research. And then you could serve Medicaid clients. It's as simple as that. And that's why I say it's about what feels good for you and what you want. And what you want. Right? Because you do have to, just because it's private pay and it pays more, you still have to market that. You still have to have the marketing efforts. And you also need to consider too, your flow of clients coming in. How many clients, in this example that we're using, how many clients do you need to hit the numbers and goals that you want to hit? So the question really shouldn't be is should you accept Medicaid or private pay clients? It should be what do you want to do and who do you want to serve and how do you want to show up as a provider? Let me tell you guys a funny story. I got a call last week from a gentleman. I don't even know if I have the voicemail, but I got a call last week from a gentleman. He wanted to move into the group home. And he says, I'm not on waiver yet. I'm paying out of my own pocket. His whole tone and everything was concerning to me. He said, I need a place to stay. Now, here, and I know that there's plenty of homes that will take GR, which is state funded here. You guys probably have something similar where you're at. But, you know, he goes, and I'm not on waiver, and I know you take waiver, and I need a place to stay, and I'm just going to pay out of pocket. I said, let me shut this all the way down. I said, to stay with me and to get the services and care from me, it's a minimum of $10K a month. He said, what, 10K? I was like, yeah, absolutely. It's a $10,000 a month service, minimum. You see, no, private pay is not going to pay that for the type of service the type of clientele that I serve, right? But when you look at the example of Adult Day, people will probably pay that. They'll probably write a check for $168 for 4 hours. And you got to think about that. That's per day, right? That's per day. So you can see how, you know, it really just depends on the service. It depends on your clients. And it depends on what you want to do and how you want to show up and how you want your business to feel. You know, I'm not about your business being stressing you out. Now, let me clear this up too, because I think a lot of people think that I don't feel stressed at all in my business. Like that's just not realistic. Like there's going to be different stress points when you're building a business and you're operating a business and you're growing a business. However, I don't want it to be any more stressful and have those more stress points. I don't need to add that on. So in the beginning, when you're starting out and you're trying to market, you're trying to gain that momentum, you will have some different stress points, different clients that you might take that you might not know if you really want or not. This is trial and error. You have to learn, right? You have to go through some things. You might say, no, Ariana, for me, I want private pay. I want to be able to collect my money. I don't want to have to deal with Medicaid. I don't want to have to deal with billing. I can make a totally different video and talk about that later. I'm not talking about that right now, about Medicaid enrollments and all that stuff and billing and reconciliation and all that jazz. But you might say, I just want them to slide their credit card and write me a check. Cool. If that's what you want, then let's go get it. You might say, Ariana, I don't really know what I want. I want to try all the things. I want all the funding sources. I want them all. You might say, hey, 50% of mine or 60% of my revenue is going to be private pay if your service allows for it. And I'll have 40% Medicaid. And then that 10% will float of whichever it's going to be. Whoever comes in, we'll take that. You never know. It's about what you want, what you're willing to try. How flexible can you be? And it's really also going to depend on where you're located. It's going to depend on your rates. And you have to do that research to find that out. If you're going to kind of just like wing it, I don't recommend it, but if that's what you want to do, if you are a person that feels really good about not doing research, not finding anything out, wasting money, don't really care if you do or not. If you are one of those people, I say throw the shit up and get it running as quick as you possibly can. But if you are someone like me that kind of wants to be a bit thorough and know the different options and know the different kind of clientele available and different programs and all of that, and be able to fill out your market based off your location, right? And the service you're going to provide and the clientele you're going to serve, then you need to do your market research so that you're clear. And once you're clear, you can create your business plan, you can create your profit projections, you can create all that because you know where you're going. You know where you're going to go. But it is a debate. I see a lot of people who are private pay providers. They take private pay and they take private pay only, and they say they don't want to deal with Medicaid and they don't want to deal with the hassle of it. For me, my money is in Medicaid, 1,000%. Okay, there's other people that they're private pay. Cool. If you have the clientele to support it, cool. That is it in a nutshell. There's no trick question. There's none of that, because I'm a person about, if the research and the market supports what you want to do, it's a no-brainer, right? But if the market doesn't support it and you do it anyway, then you've kind of already set yourself up for failure, right? 1 + 1 = 2. It don't equal 4. It don't equal 4. The rates, they're there. They are there. And trust me, the ladies in the Startup Provider Program, they've been able to find the rates. Even Michigan is a tough state. Michigan is a tough state. Trust me. And I can find rates pretty much anywhere. I found them in Michigan, but it was tough. So, just to summarize, you need to accept the clients that are going to support your business and the business model that you want. You need to choose that off of what feels good for you, the clients you want to serve, and the service you want to provide. And then we go from there. Okay? And if it comes down to private pay or Medicaid, or it might come down to private pay and Medicaid, and you might have some state funded in there too. Okay? So that's what it comes down to. And it's about building a business that feels really good to you. Okay? Just so you know, there's certain things you have to understand before you get into the market research. And I'm not even BSing you here. You have to know certain things, because even if I would have just dropped the link and gave it to you, you wouldn't understand it. I promise you. That's why I created the program, so you can understand everything. But yeah, you guys, there's so much opportunity out there. I talk about 12 plus provider types, really more than that. There's one lesson on 12 plus provider types in the program, but then module 4, we talk about even more. And I'm not even saying that you're limited to just what I talk about. There could be other services too, where you look at that and you find a service based off of scouring through all this market research, and you look into that and you're like, oh, I want to do this. I want to do this thing over here. That's fine too. The program can help you with that, all of that, right? So I don't say it to try to bullshit you. I know what it takes to get started, and I know the confusion that it brings. And what I want to leave you with this is that there's no right or wrong way. You don't have to build a business like me. You don't have to build a business like how Mahogany wants hers, or how Leona has hers, or how Miss Cece has hers, or how Toya has hers. You get to build the business the way you want to build the business. This is your show. This is your shop. Those checks are going to be written in your name, not mine. I just want you to be able to get the damn checks, right? I just want your account to build. I just want you to build wealth. I want you to make impact. I want you to serve. That's why I'm here. I can only help so many people. I can only serve so many clients. The mission of this group is to help providers start, grow, and scale. Licensed assisted living, group home, and community have businesses, and through that you will make impact. That's why this group is here. Okay? So just know that you have all the potential. You have all the opportunity. When I was getting started, I didn't have nobody to show me all this stuff. I was praying, begging God for help. You have the opportunity. You have to say yes when you're ready for it. Bye.